Yeah, it's awesome. I have to put it here. If someone takes photo, it's a great hat. Do what is fair. What time is it? Is it like 11? Right. I guess we're going to get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome here. Thanks for being here. So my name is Rogzy. I'm a French educator, and I'm going to talk about the educational layer of Bitcoin and how to scale it. So I truly believe that adoption is key to adoption, and the idea is that how do we reach the mass adoption of education? How do we teach every skill in every classroom in the world Bitcoin? How do we have meetups in every single city in the world in an efficient way so we actually can, I think, solve a lot of issues in the world using Bitcoin the right way. If you don't know me, so yeah, I'm a French educator. I'm basically like the Andreas of France, or BTP session. So if you recognize any of those projects, I've done a formation or a tutorial on it. We have like the podcast, the YouTube, the academy, the meetup organization. Like we do, I do, and my team do the French side of the education, also for Africa. It's education, key to mass adoption. We can argue about that for a lot of bears. I truly believe it's true. You can build the best tech in the world. If no one uses it and they stay on Facebook, they don't use privacy tools. So we need to teach people how to use the tools that you built. Great person built tools. We have a responsibility to teach it to people and to make it easy for them to understand how to do it. So maybe you're going to disagree, but I'm going to put some facts. Bitcoin deserves the best because it's one of the best hope we have for the future. Your time is precious. Good education is hard to do. It's a skill. It does require a way to talk to kids, to make it entertaining. And education doesn't pay much. So you also have like a scaling issue with money, finding the fund, and how to deploy it. And I think we have a way to do it because in Bitcoin, like the person before was asking, you have so much content. Like there's a shit ton of content about Bitcoin. It's just not really accessible for people that don't fall down the Bitcoin rabbit hole like we do. So you're all gonna start with Bitcoin with like the basic. Andreas probably, me premier Bitcoin, BTP, if you're in France, it's gonna be me probably. That's your introduction, and it's easy, but then you're gonna fall down and you're gonna have like guys one, you're gonna start reading books, watching documentaries, and you're gonna end up with like Steve Rivera learning like whatever you want to learn about Bitcoin. It's an endless hole. The issue with that is like how many hours of podcast have you listened? How many hours of education you've put into Bitcoin? More than 500? Probably. Like show of hand, more than 500 hours studying Bitcoin here. Yeah, everyone, like us. How many hours does your mom have, your cousin, like the farmer next door? He doesn't have it. He has like maybe 2 hours, maybe 10, max 25. And then if he falls down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, all the other resources are here for him to find. So the idea is like, how can we educate normies? And basically, I believe that we need centralization on education. Unpopular opinion, maybe, I truly believe that if we don't bring an easy way to follow for newcomers, maybe they're going to listen to Andreas or me at the beginning, but then they're going to fall into FTX. They're going to buy some shitcoin. They're just going to forget. They're not going to use the right wallet because we just let them in that giant hole that is Bitcoin. And for some people, it works. For most people, it's never going to scale. Like it's going to be so hard to scale against states attack, propaganda, massive budget against Bitcoin mining, for example, Greenpeace last time. Like, we're going to be attacked on every front. So if we don't focus our energy into like doing one thing right, which is education for the masses, we're screwed, like, to be fair. So we need to do it in the right way. Sadly, there is no universal truth, like Eve said like yesterday. And so there's no right ways. But we do have a lot of tools that are available, and we just need to take the tools, look at which one works the best, and how to scale it. I truly think Me Premier Bitcoin is an amazing example. I was doing the same in France, so we have like a presentation in high school quite regularly, trying to build up like the foundation over there. They are doing it on steroid. So if all my shit is online, like you will see, they do it on the ground. It's amazing. Sadly, it requires time, resources, and every single day you need to do one classroom. So it's really efficient, but like it's hard to scale. And if you want to scale it, because we need to scale that, then we need to like teach people how to teach Bitcoin in every fucking country. In every single high school, someone needs to be like a Bitcoin teacher. But he's not going to create the PowerPoint once again. He's not going to create his own book. So lucky for us, Mi Primer Bitcoin they accepted to put their courses open source like 2 weeks ago. These other resources. So we just need to have like one easy place for people to find the presentation, the books, print them, and then they can use the resources to teach in their own high school. They don't, like so many teachers come to me and say, hey, I want to teach Bitcoin in the school. What do? I just send them our PowerPoints, our presentation. We ship them books that we can print in high quantity, and it's just easy for them to do a presentation in their own high school. And that's how you're going to do it. That's how you're going to scale it. You don't want Mi Primer Bitcoin to come to every school. You want someone from the school to just love Bitcoin, take our resources, do a class. Easy peasy. You can scale worldwide in a decentralized fashion, just using centralized, well thought, well put together resources. Yes?
How do you control the quality of the education that the person is giving to the people?
You don't. You're only, it's open source. Every single thing I do is open source. So they just have access to like a lot of presentations. So we have like a PowerPoint on Austrian economics, one on like really Bitcoin basic 101, one workshop on like how to set up like your seed signer, your wallet. They can pick whichever presentation they want to do. And then it's like, well, they are Bitcoiners. If they want to teach about Bitcoin, I'm sure they will do it with passion because that's why they decided voluntarily to teach. We just give them high quality resources so they don't have to spend time doing a shitty PowerPoint with probably a mistake. It's just saving time for everyone. Then the other thing, so that mostly me, like the project Découvre Bitcoin we did is like online courses. And here, it requires a lot of time to do one good formation. When it's done, it's super efficient. And I know that because it works. Like I did a proof of concept in France, and the results are just insane. So basically, I started my journey like realizing there were no French content about Bitcoin. So I did like a YouTube channel, classic video, Bitcoin 101. And then I did another formation on how to set up like your node, Umbrella node. And then someone came to me and said, hey, you know what? I don't want to create a whole YouTube channel. I'm just going to give you 12 videos on like how Lightning works theoretically. And then someone else came along and said, hey, you know what? I like the formation that you have like free and open source. I'm going to add a full masterclass on Austrian economics. And through the effect that because the French community was so small, we got so centralized around the Découvre Bitcoin, now we have more than 8 teachers, 9 formation, and we're producing 1 new formation every month. So to answer the question of the guy that left, that, hey, do we have a module on GitHub? Yeah. Like in a month, we're going to have like a formation on how to use GitHub. When I come back here, we have a new formation, Bitcoin 205, how to buy Bitcoin non-KYC. 7 tutorials, RoboSat, Shift AA, LN, P2P, BISC, Pitch Wallet, ATM, and hand-to-hand cash transaction. A whole course just on how and what's the difference between all the non-KYC solution. And because of the effect of the academy and this open source university, we have more teachers coming up and giving us lessons. And they can give us lessons about economics, Austrian finance, econ. We have like a whole courses on cryptography and how to create your seed and derive the really tough aspects. So we divide it by level. And if you're interested, we have like a whole book that does all the information we do. It doesn't really matter for this presentation. My point is that because the university is fully open source, because even when I add their courses, I know I have people working like on the FEBDMint course. I have people working like on specific RGB courses because they think like, I'm Blockstream. I'm going to do a formation on Liquid. No one wants to work on Liquid, sorry. But still, I'm going to do it because I like Liquid. What do? Either they create the formation and they put it on their own website, reaching almost no one, or they just upload it to the open source community, university, where there's already like 5,000 students waiting for Bitcoin content to pop. And they want more content because they know that this place has high quality courses with exam. We have a database of like 800 questions. It's translated, you have badges, you have certificates, you have a whole onboarding process and a progression of your skills. So you can really go down the rabbit hole, maybe just stop at the first year of the university, get your first Bitcoin. But if you want to go deep dive, you have full courses on how to set up your BTP server. So it's a good way to basically help, for example, Mi Primer Bitcoin go further. Because Mi Primer Bitcoin, like we talked, and like, yeah, we can do it on the ground. But once a student asks us, like, where can I go and have like more lesson on whatever topic it is, there's nowhere. So the university is one place where the formation are well done by Bitcoiners in French, English, and Spanish pretty soon. And it just works. So it's a way to scale, to contribute. So one day, people that really discover Bitcoin and want to go further can do it the right way and become a developer. And girls, boys, it's anonymous. You cannot log in with Lightning yet, but we are working on it. And it's open source. It's license free. If you want to take like my 9 formation, just do it. Like honestly, just rehost everything. But we need to scale this. So even though I produce like a formation a month because people know give me formation, you can do a formation. I don't know how to create a formation on a basic Taro script, for example. Do that. Ask me to produce it for you if you need. I will come, I will film you, I will do the graphic design with my team of Beneval. We will host it on the university, and people can enjoy a high-quality course on how to set up an asset on Lightning. Super convenient. Where can we find this information right now? We can't. We need to scale education. Bitcoin communities, awesome. Bitcoin Beach gave the path to how many? 10s, 20 now? Like, it's awesome that everyone is starting a community, but like, are they doing it the right way? So I love the enthusiasm. I love how they do it. But like, are they recreating educational content? Or are they taking the content that we've already produced? Are they wasting time on that? Are they taking the same method as Mi Primer Bitcoin and just simply like follow the best practice? So right now, cool, we have like 10 community projects. We're going to have 100, 200, 300. How are they going to bootstrap? Can we send someone that we have formed so they can teach people on the ground like, hey, this is the blueprint for Bitcoin adoption in your city. I'm going to give you a full pack. The pack costs $500. Someone is going to pay for it, maybe me. And we just send them books, education, a nod, so they can start, but not from scratch, from an ecosystem, a community that will help them. Super easy. We need to scale that. No, never mind, wrong side. All right, meetups. I'm quite proud of this one too. So I was talking with their Gigi, and he was telling me that in Germany they had like 80 meetups. And it's true. They have a lot of meetups, and it's awesome. And in France, we had 2 meetups for the whole French. And I was like, that's bullshit. Totally bullshit. French is the best country in the world. We need more meetups. So what I did, I created 40 meetups in a month. How did we do that? Well, I told the community, hey, you know, guys, the Germans are beating us. Let's get together. We are all going to agree that on the first Wednesday in a month, you're going to host a Bitcoin meetup in your city. I'm going to send you some flyers. I'm going to send you some books. I'm going to give you the blueprint. I'm going to use my channel, the ecosystem that we have, the community that we have, to do the advertisement, to chill, to do the marketing for you. So the people that were afraid to start one meetup because they were alone, they didn't know how to do it, they didn't know like if people were coming, problem solved. They knew people would come because I was doing like the French community as a whole was like one big push toward marketing. They knew what to do because I was giving them like a blueprint for the meetup. And the first month, 35 meetups popped up. People meet up that were not existent before got like 30 Bitcoiners. Some other, it was only 3%, but 3% is in a small village is enough to bootstrap whatever economy you want. And the crazy thing about that is that the ambassador, which are Bitcoin only, of course, everything is Bitcoin only, by the way, if it wasn't clear, we train them because they have access to our formation and they are people that are passionate. So those guys, they follow our courses. They know how to set up a BTP server. They know how to talk about Bitcoin. They know how to defend against the ecological FUD. So when you go to a Bitcoin meetup in any French city, you have an expert on the ground that can help you with your business with Bitcoin for free because he loves what he's doing. So we are not doing one Bitcoin beach in France. We are doing 40, 50 Bitcoin beaches at the same time because in every single city, the ambassador is red-pilling the merchant, helping them, and then with the meetup community, they go spend their SAT there. So immediately, we don't just set up a merchant and leave it here, like, hey, dude, like I'm here, just download this wallet, here's the wallet, and then what's the traffic? Zero. Like no one is gonna come and say, hey, exactly, like you accept Bitcoin. It's never gonna work like that. What we want is that in every meetup, well, they need a barber. They have the barber set up, and then everyone know that this barber in this town accepts Bitcoin, so they go there. Where are they gonna eat? There's a restaurant that accepts Bitcoin. They go there. So there's a circular economy. And from the stats we had, since we started, now all the business that accept Bitcoin in France, they have recurring Bitcoin buys every single week on week. It's absolutely insane. And that is because it's made by the community for the community. It's not someone that comes outside from the town. And we have a standard for shit. So if you will travel to France, it's going to be the city Bitcoin meetup. We created a standard, and Portugal followed up simply because with this standard, if I travel to Portugal, I can just type the city Bitcoin meetup and get access to the group. And Athens has done the same, and cities all around the world are starting to do the same. So it's an easy way to travel. You just go on my map. If you want the link, it's here. Sorry, it's in French. We have to work on the international development. It is in English, Portuguese, German, Spanish. The site has been translated. So you can bootstrap your own country. And for example, Portugal has bootstrapped his country following exactly the same template as I did. We translated our doc. He pitched it to his community. And there's 7 meetups in Portugal that popped up in a month, all following the same logic. That's how you're going to get Bitcoin adoption, and we need to scale this. Friction of money. Slide improvised in the morning, but I think it's truly important to talk about this. Every time you try to bootstrap an educational project, you start from the bottom up at 0, and it's really hard to get funding. And okay, you can use Geyser, Telecoin, Board, it's fun, but it's, at the end of the day, it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of energy. You're going to have to look for sponsors. Like, how hard is it to have Blockstream? It's fucking hard. It's way easier if Blockstream give the money to someone that know that he can dispatch it, and so they don't have, like, I don't know. It's a weird topic, but I really think we need to solve that. I'm not sure I have the answer because I don't want to put too much centralization. Geyser is a great option, but I feel like we need to find a better way, and it's an open question to the community, on like, how do we pay for all the print? Because right, cool. I print 10,000 flyers, so it's really cheap, and I can send them everywhere. Still, like, sure, I bootstrap my project. I love Bitcoin. I'm ready to put some SAT. I have a lot of donation. That's my Geyser if you want the help. We have like a grant from a lot of company. We're like moving on, but it's because it's me. The dude that's going to start and doesn't have a network effect, how is he going to get found? And that's why it gets tricky. And maybe like if he contacts me and I can validate that it's a good educational project, we can like give grants. So we centralize the grant opportunity. So like Blockstream doesn't have to give grant to all the small guys. They give grant to me and we dispatch it to like educational project that need. It's a question, but I think we need to scale this. I don't know how. I don't want to centralize too much, but there is a big topic on that because education, like I said, don't pay, but it is needed. So we can lower the costs by producing and distributing open source content of high quality, but there's still a cost that need to be taken somehow. So yeah, I just think we need a Bitcoin adoption standard that can be followed everywhere. So we end up with one Andreas by city, put whatever name, but one person that is competent to explain Bitcoin, go to a school and teach. We need not 1, not 10, but 1,000, hundreds of thousands in Bitcoin City at the same time, so the states cannot see it coming. It pop up, and we go fast. And if we do that, we're going to have the bottom-up education and adoption that we need. Like, a question I always get is like, Bitcoin failed, look at Turkey, look at Liban, the currency is going away, it's inflating, it's shitty, and yet no one used Bitcoin. And I always respond like, yeah, but has anyone went to a school and taught people how to use Bitcoin in those countries? Very few people. There was no adoption before the crisis. So it's really hard when the crisis hits to adopt Bitcoin. So we need to educate people before the shit hits the fence. And if you're in Europe, it's going to come quite fast. So we need people to have Bitcoin and understand how it works before we go to like dangerous zone. Because then it's going to be so much harder to do non-KYC. It's going to be so much harder to have like unhosted channel, wallet. It's going to be a mess. So we need to go fast. And education is maybe tough. It's not... it's a humble job, I guess. That says it all. And I think that's my last slide. Yeah, let's scale the shit out of this shit. Thank you for your support. I know some people don't want centralization and education, but I have 6,000 students, Bitcoin, Mi Primer Bitcoin, they have like 7,000. I don't know any other person besides us two that has like trying to scale up education. So like, I think at some point we need to lower the, like we need to do something. I think that this is the solution. So if you have any question, please don't hesitate. Come on, yes.
You remember the question from before where the lady asked
yeah.
Where is like the central place to share ideas how to foster adoption? Maybe you can answer it now.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say we have like one channel with like all the educators, but the easiest way to do so would be to translate content. So don't recreate the wheel. Translate content. So like, for example, this is like the academy, let's say. First year, 2 formation. Each one take around 15 hours, one with workshop, presentation. Then like you move like second year, You have Austrian economics, Bitcoin society, inflation, cryptography, rod learning, etc. So if you want to help, you can reach me. You can look at the content accessible like in the library. You can support like a local Bitcoin educator and say, hey, you know what? I want to translate. I want to contribute to the code. I want to improve on the UX. I want to add some lightning gadgets so the UX experience is better for students. For example, like, okay, they understand Bitcoin here, easy. They get Bitcoin, they create an inheritance plan, easy. Then I want to have like a small model so they can like use Bitcoin for the first time to give to a geyser thing, to have a paywall in Lightning within the academy. If they answer correctly to the quizzes, they can receive some sats. There's a lot of, like the roadmap is so long. So if you want to help the education space, maybe don't start from the bottom, just join a community where not a lot, where there's like 10, maybe 20 big educational community. Yeah, so right now, the academy is only in French, but we are translating everything in French, Spanish, and English, because I speak the three languages. And I also already have most of the video in three languages, because I produce everything. Like basically, I just do three languages at once, so I have an economy of scale. So it's going to be translated. Then the ambassador program to start like a meetup has been already translated, and we have people from all around the world. If you want to start like your own city, the Canadians are joining us with the mission. So the Portuguese are with us. The Germans have their own thing. Italy joined us. Yeah, it's just like join the community, and we can find where you are more. Like to be fair, Découvre Bitcoin right now we are like 4 full times, and we have more than 40 to 50 bénévoles working like almost every day on helping whatsoever. So if you want that, we are well organized to put you in a specific skills you can do. I don't know if that answer. Cool.
Perfect, actually. So everything is open source for what do I have to pay €21?
No, okay, no, you don't have to pay. Everything is open source. So basically, the UX would be like you connect, you create like an account, whatever. Because sadly, I don't have LN notification, and so like let's just say you already have an account. So it's going to be a test 41, for example. Test, really hard. You can use it if you want. No, 41, damn, 45 is. No, okay, so you take like a courses, whatever, and then it's just a simple LMS. We need to move to a better platform to have more plugin, Lightning plugin, and be more resilient. So also what we're doing is we know we're going to be attacked. We know they're going to shut down my YouTube channel. We know they're going to shut down everything. So all the content can be downloaded in one click, so we can re-host everything. And everything is on different servers. And we have backups of everything, because we know they will. Like, I mean, when I put a video on how to do non-Kawaii seed and mixing, like, we know it's never going to work in France, so we are building to be resilient. But no, you don't have to pay. Everything is free, so you will just go like to chapter 1. The 21 bucks is because everything is free. We tell people like, hey, if you like the formation, you can contribute. We will send you like stickers, goodies for 21 bucks. So they get like merchandising if they want, but they don't have to. It's like a way for us to have like a business model that we don't have any sponsors. We don't have any commercial. It's the most, we try really to focus on the best way students are going to learn. And so, for example, here, hardware wallet, they go to the classes on hardware wallets, chapter 4, wallet tutorials, if my computer wants to have internet. And for example, here, if you use Trezor, Ledger, Big Box, whatever, you click on it, and you're going to have the video, the tutorials, and everything. And then you're gonna have a quiz. And there you go. You have a full video on how to set up that. And we have tutorials on literally every single wallet, every single application, on almost anything that has been created. I don't know if that answers the question. I can got lost, I think. But so yeah, it's free. You can contribute through Geyser, Patreon, or buy our merch. So we sell T-shirts, we sell like hoodies, stuff like that.
As you said, your content is also open source, but you upload it to YouTube. How can I contribute to your videos? For example, if someone doesn't like, I don't know, some seconds of the video. Is there any way like continue and then you change it? Or?
Well, so everything is licensed BYSACY. So basically, you can reuse it. If you change it, you have to tell it, and you have to keep the same. It's the same as Andreas, basically. It's the same as everyone. So true, you could take all of my information and say, hey, I'm a shitcoin casino. I'm going to do an academy, and it's going to be my courses to explain Bitcoin, and then it's going to be their shitcoins after. I cannot control that. I don't want to control that because, like, what if someone wants to do good? I'm not going to monitor everyone that uses my videos because that's not, like, everything is open, so use it or don't use it, I don't really care. It's on YouTube simply because I started with YouTube, but like I said, you can just download everything and rehost it. And we know that in the next version of the Academy, which is going to be fully open source, because we started with a POC, which is, it's LearnDash, for those that knows it. So I know it works, I know the students like it, there's the functionality I want. Now we are building the open source, so if you want to add a course, I cannot say no. We need to find how we can regulate that, like who are the people that can push. But in the idea, I shouldn't be allowed to, by myself, not allow you to post a course in the Bitcoin open source university. Yep.
I have a question. So great presentation, first of all.
Thank you.
My question would be, do you have an application where the content is available offline, so something that can be used as a learning platform? Let's say you travel, you fly, you have no internet access, and you need that app to watch, I don't know, tutorials.
No. To be fair, that's not even in the infinite roadmap that I have. We do work with. So, if it's really that this is really online, and we focus on online because we believe that those are people that will take the time to sit down, look at the video, do the exam, do the workshop on the spot. So it's people that have good connection, have a laptop. If you are going to travel a lot, just take one of the great Bitcoin books. I'd say it's way more efficient. And for the people that don't have a good connection or bandwidth, so for example, most of the school in Africa that we try to go to, I think this is not adequate for them. In that case, we are working with Mi Primer Bitcoin to like create courses. We use my presentation. Like we do it like Mi Primer Bitcoin because it's way more efficient in those parts of the world. But then the students that want to learn will go there. And for example, for example, the formation Lightning 201, set up your first Lightning node, was used in Benin to set up the first node of the country. So, like the dude used my formation to set up a node, and then with that node he helped like his village, and that's how you're going to bootstrap. It's only one person that had access to the full formation. He could have done it on his own. He didn't ask for permission. He was anonymous. And someday just tell me and send me and say, hey, here you go, first node of the country, thanks to you. So it's a trade-off between online and not online, but we definitely don't have a fully offline content as of now. Yes. Are we good on time? I'm so sorry, I don't have the time. Okay, it's good.
First of all, congrats on giving the German meetup community a run for.
Yeah, you are doing an amazing job on meetups.
Catching up very quickly, that's great.
Trying.
And you said before you speak like multiple languages and you're working on
Yeah.
translating. So is English next or is Spanish next? And if Spanish is not next, what do you think is the best Spanish resource right now? Because you're in
So English and Spanish are doing are on the same time. I do speak the three languages, so basically what we're going to do is that I have the agreement with BTP Session, Andreas, and basically every single educator in the world to use their content and add it here. So I will simply keep the same curriculum, which I believe are well thought through and works, and put their video. So I'm not going to recreate everything because, like, again, there's no need. But if there's missing a video, a link, a connection, then I will just produce it again because, well, I speak the three languages. And so we have it. For German, I need a German ambassador that translates everything or give me the resources. But honestly, I cannot do German at all. Regarding if you don't want to wait the next month or two to get Spanish resources, I'd say that La Biblioteca is like the equivalent of my library or the JSON loop wall of information. I'm sure you all know JSON loop. In Spanish, it's La Biblioteca. It's a great Spanish project, and so basically in the academy, we're just going to say, hey, if you want more resources, go to La Biblioteca. Like, I'm not going to recreate La Biblioteca. It makes no sense. Every country has its own big Bitcoin library, and the academy is just going to send to the local person. And for my part, the Spanish channel is Descubre Bitcoin, and the English website is thebitcoinrabbithole.com or The Bitcoin Rabbit Hole on YouTube. So I have the domain name descubrebitcoin.com and thebitcoinrabbithole.com. So it's good domain, so I don't know exactly how to use them, if we should move all the Bitcoin University on the Bitcoin Rabbit Hole. Like, it's not quite sure how we scale internationally, but coming here, I know that now we have the resources, we have the money, we have the brain, we have the community behind us. So I'd say it's a second phase for Découvre Bitcoin to scale up, to be more international. So yeah, like Spanish, you have Bitbox in Spanish, you have Q&A, you have like...
So one quick last question. You seem to be quite technical. Do you know about the Bitcoin Uptake newsletter?
Yeah.
And that one also is always looking for people who translate it into French.
We have someone from our community translating in French, but I don't think he's following up on like every release. But same, in French, in our library, I'd say, we have a translation of most of the books, most of the great articles. Then we read them on our podcasts. And so the opt, there is some volume translated, not that many, because I guess all the really technical person in French know English, so we translate basic content for people that don't know English in French or in Africa, which is the large 99%. If you are really into Bitcoin, just learn English, to be fair. Like, yeah, it's gonna be better for your whole life. So while we do produce high-quality technical courses in French, and we have like a really, really tech French podcast, we also try to do more for the beginners than the really technical, because English is covered. Any question? All right. Thank you.